Page 13, Little Dance. It was a fun little piece. Let's look it over. It's 5 lines long. There's no repeat signs. Just go straight through. Treble and bass clef, 1 sharp in the key signature. We're in the key of G major. Make sure you go do the scale for G major. I got a video on it. 1 octave up and down is good enough. And 4/4 time. Let's check our notes and rhythms. Now there's other fingerings we can do here, but the fingering in the book is fine because we are moving around a little bit. Right hand, just third finger on B. Put your hand here to start. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Not too bad. C sharp here. Here, just bring the 4th finger. Rest, reach down. Don't move, just reach down and stay where you're at. And then come back up, because going on, we're here again. See, if on major 4, after we do that, if we stayed down here, we could collapse the hand. But we're not. We're back up here, so we leave the hand stretched out and then come back up. You're only down there for 1 note here and then come back. Let's go down to measure 9. It's the last measure of the 3rd line. You remember the little numbers above the stabs at the beginning of the line, the little boxes? Those are measure numbers. So you can use those. Measure 9 is 1 less than 10, so you just go back. Well, okay. Anyway, just 2, and then thumb. We need to be in this position. So we come up 1, and we just taking advantage of the repeated note to change positions. So we're here, and then here. This way, because we got a need coming up. So now we're ready to go on. And then on measure 12, during the rest, you can come back down here, because we need to be back in this position. See, on measure 13, they have a 3, and then right above it, there's a 2 with a it's an alternate fingering. You could use 2 if you wanted. And the next measure would be thumb, and then 2. And, you can change on the repeated note. It's an alternate fingering. See, the one fingering isn't necessarily correct and another incorrect. It's just that there's different ways of fingering things. I mean, there are some bad fingerings. Don't go there. But here you have a choice. You can move down during the rest on measure 12. You have time and you're in position for the rest of the piece. Or you can stay where you are on measure 12, and then measure 13, you stay there. And then on measure 14, you come down on the A's. I mean, you went up on the A's, you come down, and then you're ready to go on. If you have a teacher, they'll pick one for you, and that's fine. Left hand, well, starting with thumb on G. Here. Don't forget the F sharp, it's in the key signature. And they're just whole notes for the left hand, which is fine because you got enough to do in the right hand. Now, when you get to measure 8, during the rest, you have to come up. Here, it's F sharp D. And on measure 10, I do a 4-1 there. You can do a 5-1 if you want because you got a rest, you got time. But I like to do a 4. I just stay in this position. Basically, I'm in this position. So, and I hear. And then during the rest, now I come up. Now measure 12. They want 4th finger and thumb. Well, if you're doing the scales 2 octaves, this is in there. Otherwise, you kind of struggle to reach under the 4th and what's going on here? Relax. Your thumb will move if you'll relax. It's got some, you just reach the thumb under. You can't see it very well. I'm reaching the thumb under. And you can turn the hand a little bit. Don't turn it a lot. Some people will angle the hand one way or the other to help them. I've had different teachers tell me. One teacher said do this, another teacher said do this. Eventually you want to get to where you can, maybe I should be telling you you should be doing these scales 2 octaves. Because you get this maneuver, and I talk about the trill exercise and working with this kind of thing in that video. Maybe you should be doing this so you can do that. Get used to that. That way when you run across it in these pieces, it just happens. You don't worry about it. Here, because we need to be down here for the rest of the piece. Okay, put the hands together. It's here. Now, when you first put the hands together, you can hesitate all you need to. It's here, and then here. Then measure 4. Make sure you're resting in the right hand. So that's by itself. And then do that some more. So you go through and put the hands together. And I connect everything at first. I only lift up for the rest, or if I have to move or something. And then once I have the notes and rhythms, I get rid of the hesitations. I'm sort of comfortable with it. Then I'll think about the articulation. In the right hand, you have the slurs and staccato. Then I'm hinging at the wrist and a short song. Now those are not staccatos in measure 4. Hold them at the full beat. In the left hand on these, they don't give you anything. I suggest you connect it. I would connect this left hand pretty much all the way through except for the rest. Just connect it. All the way through. So it's... put in the articulation, and then we'll think about the dynamics. Moderately loud, MF, mezzo forte, sort of loud. That's the melody. That's the right hand. What do you think sort of loud is? It's not a set value. It's not loud. It's just sort of loud. The left hand, keep it in the background. Now, these dynamics apply to the melody, and the melody in this piece is in the right hand. So this is soft, sort of loud. So this is sort of heavy, sort of, and this is light, the left hand. So I'm feeling kind of heavy in one hand and very light in the other, and that's normal. You get used to that eventually. See, when you're doing the scale, you can practice this. So G major scale, when you're doing that, practice playing one hand louder than the other. Exaggerate it. Play the right hand loud. Left hand very soft, and then switch it. Let the left hand be loud and the right hand soft. Yeah, it's good practice. I mean, you're doing the scales anyway. You just as well practice this other stuff too. That way, when you run across it in the pieces, you just do it. So we're sort of loud here. Now, we have a hairpin on measures 3 and 4. You're going to go up and back down. We're going to swell up and swell down. You're going to go up to loud, and then a little loud. Yeah, the left hand's in the background. Now this, measure 4, you can come up some because the right hand came up some, but then go back down. See. Now you're measure 5, you're soft in the melody and very soft in the left hand. And then pick up to measure 9, you forte. Now you're loud. The left hand can just keep it in the background. And on measure 12, you get the hairpin to come back down. So you're loud, sort of a moderately soft, because in measure 13 you want to be soft. Here, just bring it down. And you finish it soft. Those are the dynamics. You got to get to where you feel the dynamics. You force them at first, but then you get into the music, you start feeling the dynamics. As far as the speed goes, allegretto, that's between moderato and allegro. I call it the fun speed. It's just fun. Just have fun here. People dancing to this, but they're not going crazy. But they're enjoying themselves. Huh? And remember to feel the natural accents. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You gotta feel them. Don't force them. Feel them, and it'll come across in the music. don't copy me. You got to get into it and got to feel this music yourself. Let's play it together very slowly. Now, this is after you've learned it. No hesitations. You can at least play it slowly. Make sure you play in the same note I'm playing at the same time. This way you can check, make sure you got the right notes and rhythms. Not going to do any dynamics. I'm going to do both hands about the same. I'll do the slurs and staccatos, but no dynamics. Now let's play it together very slowly. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2.